It had been a long day, and the Doctor was exhausted. Travelling around the universe, saving planets and soaring alien civilizations can be very tiresome. So, the Doctor decided to park her TARDIS on Earth and pop out for a snack, as even Timelords get peckish. The Doctor took Graham, Ryan and Yaz to their hometown of Sheffield, as Graham had been nagging to go back to his favourite Sarnie shop ever since their visit to Metebelis 3. The Doctor and her fam glided out of the TARDIS slickly and onto the streets on a quest to find the best Sarnie in Sheffield. It wasn't long before the fam found themselves on the cusp of a legendary Sarnie shop, when the Doctor felt a mysterious yet familiar presence walk past her. But before she could see who it was, they were gone. Graham ecstatically ran up to the Sarnie shop like it was a child who he'd lost for many months. He had been longing for the sweet taste of his favourite Sarnie to cross his lips once more. Graham ran in without hesitation while the Doctor lingered on the street corner, pondering who it could have been that had just passed her. "You coming, Doctor?" Yaz inquired, turning from the shop to see the Doctor looking very concerned. "Yeah, I just felt," said the Doctor as she quivered over the words to describe what she'd felt. "Hurry up, will you? Or Graham will eat all the sandwiches," Ryan yelled, and the Doctor and Yaz begging for them to speed up. "Come on, we'll get a sandwich to share if you want. Fried egg sandwich, that is your favourite, isn't it?" Yaz suggested, as she moved affectionately towards the Doctor. "How did you know that?" the Doctor asked. "I have my sources," Yaz replied. Reluctantly, the Doctor joined Yaz, and they entered the Sarnie shop. The Doctor looked up at the rickety shop, which had looked almost as if it had seen as much light as the Doctor herself. On the door, graffitied in lurid green spray paint, were the words "Blythe Droog." These words were familiar to the Doctor, but she couldn't remember why. Yaz courteously opened the door for the Doctor and Ryan as they entered the shop. Graham had already made a colossal order, which was keeping the sandwich barista, as it was labelled on his employee badge, very busy. The Doctor had already noticed a large queue beginning to take shape, and was already concerned and growing impatient, and wished that some kind of monster or terrible threat would burst in to alleviate her tense boredom. Noticing that the guy at the back of the sandwich shop was clearly out of his depth, the Doctor decided to go and lend him a helping hand. Yaz tried to stop her, but she was unable to prevent the Doctor going into the greasy doors of the sandwich shop and into the smoky abyss of the kitchen. In the kitchen, the Doctor was reminded of the battle-scarred ruins of Skaro, with smoke filling the air like a boiling kettle. However, from the smoke came a sharp, bright blue light, which reached into every corner of the kitchen. The Doctor knew what this meant. Trouble. Yaz was getting worried that the Doctor was in trouble, as the blinds that allowed you to see into the kitchen had closed as soon as the Doctor made her way in. "Ryan?" Yaz asked, trying to get his attention. "Yeah, where's the Doctor?" he inquired in reply. She went out back into the kitchen, only she hadn't come back out. "I'm worried. Should we probably go find her?" she asked. "Probably. I'll go fetch Graham," Ryan replied, as he went over to go fetch him, while Yaz hopped outside to see if she could get in the back. Meanwhile, out from the shadows came a bright neon blue coloured monster. It had bush baby-like eyes, razor-sharp claws, which looked like overgrown nails, twisted into thorns, which it raised as if to rip apart the Doctor. The creature resembled that of a Slitheen. The Doctor ran to the door to warn the customers, but it was locked. The creature let out an excruciating roar. "Doctor, we meet at last!" the creature growled. The Doctor reached for the pan of water and took out her sonic. "One step further and I'll use my trusty sonic to triplicate the flammability of this water and blow this kitchen all the way back to your home planet," the Doctor threatened the creature. "An empty threat, Doctor," the creature replied, but proceeded to lower their claws. "What's your name?" I am Erasmus of the Slitheen family. Any relation to the Slitheen family by any chance? The doctor inquired. Of course not, they're far too greedy. All they do is take, take, take. What I want to do is for the greater good, Erasmus replied. And what might that be, dare I ask? I want to get rid of this pathetic little planet of all you humans, sneered Erasmus. I'm not human. Why would you say that? But why would you destroy this planet? To build a new sandwich shop, of course. I want to take this franchise universal. This planet is conveniently placed on a direct route from one business galaxy to another, Erasmus replied. So, what you want to do is build a place for commuters to stop and grab a quick cup of joe? Tell me, how is that any different from the Slitheen? The doctor demanded to know. The Slitheen merely profit, without a care for those who work below them. I want to make a shop that is easily accessible to those who need to grab a coffee or they'll be in a mardy mood all day. But that's just as bad as the Slitheen. Why would you do that to murder millions of people? No, simply enslave them to make nice sandwiches all day long for the rest of their miserable lives. Again, that's no different from the Slitheen. You're not caring for those below you. You're just enslaving them and using them for your own benefit. Elsewhere, round the back, Yaz had discovered someone loitering, trying to open the door behind the discarded waste and ejected bins. She was short, with blonde hair, and wore a smart attire, like some form of mayor or politician. Excuse me, ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to step aside, Yaz demanded as she picked out her police ID, which she knew would work in Sheffield. Oh, so you're police too, said the woman in a distinctly Welsh accent, which was somehow familiar to Yaz. Hang on, don't I know you? I find it unlikely. I'm from the planet Raxicorica Phalapatorius, Police Department, or RPD to save time. My name on Earth is Margaret Blaine, Margaret explained to Yaz. And why are you here? To repay a debt to an old friend, Margaret replied simply. Graham and Ryan finally caught up, but were already out of breath from having to rush around the corner. Alright, Yaz, you better tell us what's going on right now, Graham commanded. And who's this? She says she's from Yaz tried saying, but she kept stuttering. Oh, never mind. I'm Margaret Blaine, and I'm looking for the doctor. Back in the kitchen, the doctor had been moving slowly towards a jar of vinegar on the table, while Erasmus kept bragging about the genius of their plan to her. However, Erasmus noticed this and immediately struck down their claw to prevent this. Do you really think I'm that stupid, Doctor? I'm going to make sure I get what I want, and there's nothing you can do to stop me, Erasmus cackled malevolently, when all of a sudden Margaret and the rest of the fam burst in. The doctor looked round to see them. Her jaw dropped at the sight of Margaret. Ah, the fuzz! You won't take me! Erasmus screeched, cowering in the corner. Claws in the air, sonny boy, she demanded. Or what? Or I blast you to oblivion, she said, withdrawing a water gun filled with water from her pocket as a bluff. All right, I give in, replied Erasmus, who seemed to be easily defeated for one so confident just a few moments earlier, and planned to turn the entire planet into a giant sandwich shop. You will be taken henceforth from this place to an establishment in which you will stand trial for what you've done. Please prepare for transport, Margaret declared, as a bright white light enveloped Erasmus, taking him from the sandwich shop to Margaret's spaceship, just on the edge of the Earth's atmosphere. Yaz finally got in and was able to see the doctor again. As soon as this happened, she ran to her and gave her a massive hug as she greeted her. Doctor! Yaz! The doctor said as she accepted this hug. Ryan and Graham also protruded in. Graham had a sarnie in one hand, which he nibbled on ferociously. Good to see you're all right, Doc, he said, in between his large bites of sarnie. Thanks, the doctor said, stunned at Graham's ability to chug down the sarnie so quickly. So, Margaret, it's good to see you again. It's nice to see you too. I heard rumours that something was going on here, and I knew it was my duty to investigate. You gave me a chance to start again. And thanks to you, I've been able to help so many people. So I felt I needed to thank you. That's not a problem. Everyone deserves a second chance, the doctor said, pleased that she'd been able to make a change to Margaret's way of life. Anyway, I really must be off. More crimes to prevent. Thank you once again, the doctor. It means more than you'll ever know, Margaret said, as she too was enveloped by the white light and transported back to her ship. You know, this Sarnie ain't too bad. They weren't trying to destroy the world. I'd be tempted to offer them a job in the TARDIS as chef, the doctor said as she took a bite out of one of Graham's sandwiches. Right then, where to next? Ryan asked at last. You know, we really need to visit the Planet of the Hats together. I went there with his friend once and I nearly got decapitated because they thought my head was a hat, the doctor quipped in between bites of her sandwich. Maybe not there, laughed Yaz as they left the shop, ready to embark on their next adventure.